Hello and welcome to the Redmen TV. It's daily news time. It's me again. I'm sorry, everybody. As you know, Paul's in America, living the dream, getting to interview the likes of Virgil van Dijk, full interview on the website. Curtis Jones, full interview on the website. And we put the full interview with Jurgen Klopp out on YouTube this morning, or late last night. I can't remember what it was. So while he's doing that, I get to talk about Grujic potentially going out to Cardiff. I get to talk about Christian Pulisic's price tag to be set. And I say it like I'm being grouchy. I'm not. I'm just dead jealous of Paul. I actually really enjoy this stuff. But compared to, talking to Jurgen Klopp in the flesh and interviewing him, reading a tweet from Ronan Murphy, interviewing Jurgen Klopp. Yeah, you know what I mean. So Christian Pulisic will not leave Borussia Dortmund this summer unless a bid of over 70 million euros is received, according to Kicker. I've got to be honest with you, when Si told us this one earlier on in the daytime, we were all a little bit like, come on. Where's that Coutinho money, Liverpool? Are we going to go and spend it? Now, let's be honest, I don't think he's worth 70 million, if I'm being frank. I don't think he's worth that yet. He has the potential to be worth that, but he is also a star. He had a few inconsistencies last season. Season before, he was absolutely outstanding. But we know how high his ceiling is, and I think every Liverpool fan would probably want him. I'm sure FSG would want him, and his dad's been talking about stuff as well. The Liverpool Echo report, and I've got some of the stuff that his dad's been saying. He was talking to Sky Sports, was Mark Pulisic, who, according to the Sky Sports, has been a major player in his son's development as a footballing prodigy. He said, there's always change. You can think one thing, then you do it. And at the end of the day, it wasn't the right thing. Football is crazy. You go with the flow and make sure the player feels comfortable, whatever the decision is. There's no magic formula. Is it right to stay at Dortmund? Who knows? Is it right to move to another club? He might think it is, or someone else might think it is, but it might not be in the player's mind. I'm going to skip on a little bit. Get on this. The Premier League is a league he's always aspired to being and playing. As a player nowadays, there are so few players staying at one club throughout a career. The chances of him moving to different clubs and leagues is a high possibility. So, that breaking on the same day that, Dortmund are saying he's not leaving this summer for any less than 70 million euros, some clubs might start sniffing around. Now, there's no strong links to Liverpool from today. There's been rumoured interest for a long time now with Christian Pulisic. I'm sure, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Would you spend 70 million euros on him right this summer? Or would you wait and see if he can go back to that form from a year before? I mean, he is a class player. I think we all know that. We saw that against us. The impact that he had when he came onto the pitch and stuff. So, yeah. Let me know your thoughts on that one in the comment section below. Neil Warnock remains optimistic for Marco Grujic loan. So apparently Neil Warnock spoke to Marco Grujic only yesterday. So I spoke to Marco yesterday. We're still optimistic, but we should know in the next few days. If he's not staying there, I think he'll come to us. It all depends on the negotiations. Apparently negotiations have been pretty slow with Liverpool. There is a contract involved, but it will be resolved. I'm sure they will make a decision shortly. I wonder if that's why we saw Marco Grujic getting a game a few minutes against Manchester City. Not really been involved in pre-season. Then they're maybe just weighing up their options a little bit. It's an interesting one anyway. Obviously, Liverpool dragging the heels. I think it makes sense. I think, he can go there. He probably will go there. I mean, the transfer window is going to shut soon enough anyway. You may as well have a look at him and just see what type of player you've got. Remember, he's been on loan last season and stuff as well, so you want to see how far he's developed, how good he's got, and you want to see him when he's got that little bit of fitness in his legs. I mean, Klopp will be working these guys really hard on the training ground, and he maybe hasn't been able to showcase everything that he's learned over the last year or so. So it makes sense for me to Klopp to just, if he likes him as a player and wants to loan him out still, just take him for the rest of pre-season. Cardiff are still going to be there. They're going to still want him. He was a player who did well. He was a linchpin in their side at times last season, so take your time. See what he's about, see how he learns, see how he picks up your ideas again, and then go and loan him out if he's to be loaned out. That's the way that I would do it. If you agree or disagree, let me know in the comment section below. Okay, so we found some Simon Mignolet news. He's on for Barcelona's list for Sillinton replacements. I think everybody knew that, but also Besiktas has been linked according to reports. Shock target for Barcelona. This is a few days old, but it has only been published today. Maybe third choice for Liverpool. Besiktas are supposed to be in for him as well, but it's Marca saying that Barcelona want him. This is one that I think everybody's going to have a little bit of an opinion on. Mainly from the fact that I think a lot of people aren't comfortable with Loris Karius being, the number 2 goalkeeper to back up Alisson this season at Liverpool. Personally, I'd probably keep Mignolet around. I think the figures that have been talked about are maybe between 10 and 15 million. I think he's worth more than that. I think if you can get 12.5 million for Danny Ward, Mignolet is much more proven than Danny Ward. I think you're looking closer to 20, to be honest with you. I think what obviously works in the buying team's favour is that he hasn't been getting first-team football for the best part of at least half a season now. And, he went to the World Cup, and he's obviously not Belgium's number 1 because they got Thibaut Courtois and all that type of stuff. So, be interesting to see if he went in for something like a Barcelona where you go and become a second keeper somewhere else, because kind of what's the point? It's like all the rumours and that way he wanted to go for first team football. If he goes to Barcelona, he's that number 2 guy at Barcelona, then I think he's probably been he'll have felt mistreated by Klopp, and that's actually the crux of the issue, and that's actually why he wants to move. If he goes and he has an offer from Barcelona to be number 2 and he goes to Besiktas number 1, fair play to him, he's told the truth all the way along. We're about to find out, I suppose, by his decision. But then equally, I hate saying this, but it is Barcelona and they are a big club. Maybe he did want to go there as well. Final little piece of news before we get into some of the comments. James Pearce came out yesterday on Twitter and said West Brom have registered their interest in Liverpool winger Shea Ojo. Yeah, I can see that. I can understand that. I think Shea's probably a guy who needs to go and get first-team football. Is he a guy who's going to break into Liverpool's side? Hand on heart, I don't think he's going to be a first-teamer at Liverpool. He's come with a lot of promise and stuff like that. Maybe he'll improve enough to get to that situation, but I don't know. For me, and I hate saying this because players can just go on and improve so much, it just doesn't feel like he's going to take that opportunity that he's been given. And maybe you could argue that it hasn't been given a good enough opportunity. But there you go. That's all the news for today. I'm going to get into some of the comments right now. So, Simon, if you could get me started.
Yeah, so I think mostly people are saying, just go and get Pulisic. It'd be a really exciting signing, wouldn't it? So Eric Forbes says, I'm an American, and if we get Pulisic, Liverpool will be the biggest team in America. Huge profit. And then there was an interesting question about a similar thing that says, Ultima Red says, I can see FSG really wanting this deal. So question, would FSG sign him regardless of if Klopp thinks he is the right man or not? No,
I don't think they would. I think ultimately it all comes down to Jurgen Klopp. That's kind of it. I think he has the final say on all transfers. I can understand totally, and I've said this for a long time now, why Liverpool would be interested in someone like a Christian Pulisic because of his standing within American soccer fans. I think you just had to see that the other night, the chant of USA ringing out around Charlotte, wasn't it? But I don't feel like they'd get involved in the football side of things for that. It doesn't seem right, and they don't seem like the type of owners that would do that. They could have got him a lot cheaper a lot earlier on in his career and it still had the same effect, maybe, you could argue. But I think it is a guy that Jurgen Klopp does want, ultimately. I think he's a guy that excites Jurgen Klopp. I think Jurgen Klopp knows all about his potential and what he could bring to this Liverpool side in the future. Whether he's worth 70 million or not sure. Don't really know how the merchandise numbers stack up against the transfer fee, but I imagine you'd sell a whole host of shirts. But I don't think it quite works like that in football. You could say, he's going to make his money back, but ultimately it's New Balance that get the money from our kit sales. That's why they pay to make our kits. So I don't think that's quite right either. Go on, next one, mate.
Lennon D'Souza says, if we're going to spend 70 million on a winger, I'd rather go for Son from Spurs.
Oh, I love him. I absolutely love him. I know you do as well.
Yeah.
He is superb. I don't know how old he is actually. Do you know?
I think he's about 26.
Yeah. I would absolutely love him at Liverpool. I think he's just a very, very clever player. He's deceptively fast. But it's the runs that he makes, very, very good at making late runs into the box or breaking the lines. I mean, he's just a fantastic footballer. He's one of the players in the Premier League that I love to watch more than many others. Austin Waters is saying Pepe Reina as a backup. I believe I've just heard him linked to somebody else today. Pepe Reina. Who was it? It was a Premier League side.
I'll have a look.
Was it Chelsea?
It is Chelsea, yeah.
Yeah.
So, this is literally just, I've done a quick Google search. It says Chelsea officials in Milan to push through Pepe Reina deal. But that's from Sports Mold.
He's
so I'm not
literally
quite
just
sure.
gone to Milan. Literally just gone to Milan, hasn't he? This summer. He was obviously at Napoli last season. Moves to Milan. And then the rumours are that Donnarumma's going to be shipped off and Pepe Reina's going to take the reins because they've got in some financial fair play difficulties. And now Pepe Reina's being targeted as a Chelsea goalkeeper. That's absolutely mental. Yeah, Vincenzo Artito. Yeah, Reina signed for AC Milan. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's interesting. Chris, what are your expectations for season? Mine is league title. Says Kyle Muckian. I defo pronounced that wrong, and apologies if I haven't, and that was your name, and I just pretended like I pronounced it wrong. My expectations for the season are a title challenge. I want us to win the league. I hope that we can win the league. I believe that we can win the league. But I'm not stupid. Manchester City were well better than us last season. They're the best side. They're in the driving seat. They've got the biggest, best, most expensive squad, unfortunately. And we've got a lot to do. You know, I think we'd have to get a little bit lucky at times. But we do have it within us. You know, I think the squad is massively improved. The spine of the team is almost world class now. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the season starting. I hate pre-season football. I hate pre-season football because I'm a dead competitive person, and watching non-competitive stuff grinds me gears.
Dwayne James has said Liverpool have a history of missing out on boss players just before they hit the stride. Dele Alli, etc. Could not sign and Pulisic for 70 million, now be another such circumstance.
Liverpool have a history of signing some really boss forwards as well, though. To counter your point, I mean, yes, we've all heard about the Ronaldos and the Dele Allis and all those type of things, but let's not forget that we took advantage of Fernando Torres and brought him into the Premier League, and he was one of the best strikers he was the best striker in the league at that time. We signed Luis Suarez, he became the best striker in that league. We've got Mo Salah, he's the best striker in the league. So for everyone that you go and you miss out on, you get someone else through the door who's just as good. Yes, Liverpool may regret not signing Pulisic, but for 70 million quid for a guy who did have maybe an inconsistent season a little bit last season, and when we've just spent a huge amount of money already this summer, to go and spend another 70 million right now, it would be crazy. I'd want Liverpool to do it. I think he's a good enough player that you can do it, but really, get rid of Jiggle my tight little thing, will you?
Just have.
Ta. See ya. Love that.
Gives you an immense sense of power when you do stuff like that.
I just saw one then I wanted to answer.
I've got one here. So
Milesy 20, no, Milesy 20, and then we'll come to yours, Si. How come you always miss out, Chris? Stevie G, Klopp, Van Dijk now. I know. Went all the way to LA, didn't even see Stevie G. Paul gets a photo with him. I miss out this time because I've got a family, unfortunately. Damn, I shouldn't really have said that. Blue Super Chat from Magnus Harlan. Thank you so much. And what was yours, Si?
So, Mukul Tawari says Pulisic is worth at least Dembele money. What do you think? 70 mil doesn't sound enough to me.
Pulisic is Dembele money?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? He's not done anything. Let's have a look at some of his stats. Right, 19 years old. Let's have a look. Let's get this on the go, Dizzle. Come on, man. Who scored? Being a little bit slow. Being a lot slow.
We've got an interesting comment here while we're waiting. Oscar Aquina says, if we sell all those fringe players we were talking about, it would make up that 70 million that we need for Pulisic or other squad players.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, have Liverpool done their transfer business? And I agree with you, you know, I would want that, but I wonder whether this time Liverpool have done all their transfer business and now they're just trying to get some of that back. Okay, here we go. Can we do, what are we looking at? So we played 32 times last season, scored 4 goals. Where's his player history? There we go. That'll be that history tab there, Chris, that says history on it, that you can click on. So he's played 91 games in his career. come on, for a kid, like 120, 130 million, are we suggesting here?
I think that's what Mukul Tawari was suggesting.
I'm not sure, man. He scored 10 goals in 3-4 years.
I'll be honest,
Two.
I thought his stats were a lot higher than that. That surprised me a little bit, to be honest. No, I think because he's rated so highly, you just assumed that his stats were a lot better.
He's not been there, mate, yet, you know what I mean? Look at that. He's probably played, what we're looking at there, 27, 42, 46 games he started in the Bundesliga. We're not at that level yet, where you're over 100 million, I'm sorry. Even with all of his promise, and he has bags and bags of promise, we're just not there yet. 70 million's too much for me. But again, I see his ceiling. I know how high that ceiling is. I've seen him play a lot. I understand that he's going to be a great footballer. That's why I'd pay it, but I don't even think he's worth the 70 right now. Interesting to hear everybody else's thoughts on that though as well.
Sean Lunt, our friend Sean, said it looks fucking roasting in that studio.
It's boiling hot, mate. Can you see me sweating here? Like, bloody hell, Sean. No one's talking about Draxler. You know what? No one's talking about Draxler, Ollie, and I'm sorry for not talking about Draxler, which kind of proves your point. But Andre Schürrle to Fulham, that was a bit of a left winger, wasn't it?
Yeah. And they've signed Seri as well.
Yeah. They mean business. They're linked with a goalkeeper now as well, aren't they? Was it they were linked with? Was it? It couldn't be. Fulham goalkeeper, I can't remember. What's your midfield for West Ham, Chris? Ooh, that was Ben Sutton. I'm going to go with Fabinho, Keita, Milner right now. Don't know why. Just fancy Millie.
I like the look of that. I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
It's either Milner or Wijnaldum, isn't it? I'd say.
Or Adam.
Or Lallana. I can't see him playing Lallana and Fekir on the first game together.
Fekir?
Fekir's playing. It's Keita, sorry. Freudian slip there.
How about Yaya Toure on a free, Chris, says Jack McLaren. This is quite funny. Wow. I'll answer that in a second. Ros AT's mad. You're mad. Where was I? Oh, now it's all gone. Come on, man. Oh, Yaya Toure on a free, that was it, wasn't it? That didn't work out too well for him, did it? You know, you get your agents come out there and say he'll play for one of Manchester City's rivals for £1 a week, and that was mid-June and nobody speaking to him, and I've not heard anybody interested. That has certainly backfired slightly. To the other guy who's talking about me naked in a paddling pool, I feel for you, man. That's not a nice view. Chris, am I the only one that thinks that Keita was a steal for 55 million, says Ben Louis 07? No. He's going to be the best player in the world. Kyle, again, I'm not going to try and say his surname this time. Chris, AO, do you see us... Who do you see... Oh, right, okay, so it's not AO, it's who. Sorry, typo. Chris, who do you see missing out on top four? I say United and Spurs. That's an interesting one, actually, because I think the Spurs stuff... they always start the season quite slowly, I feel. They're just such a well-coached side that they just get better and better and better as the season goes on, don't they? And they are going to have a struggle with first teamers being gone from the World Cup more than anybody else. I mean, like most of England, there was Tottenham players. You've got the Belgian defenders. Just ravaged is that squad. And so if they have a poor start to the season, are they going to be able to get back? I think they will, personally. I think that it'll be Arsenal and Chelsea.
That's what I'd say as well.
Yeah, and
I know nothing, like, I'm usually wrong about these sorts of things, but before the season, I'll probably predict Arsenal and Chelsea.
Yeah, I had it, like 3 weeks ago, I had it Man City, Liverpool, Tottenham, Manchester United, Chelsea, Arsenal. And then the stuff going on at Chelsea with the manager and the Hazard rumours, I've switched them, so I think Arsenal might finish 5th. I'm not sure.
It'd be lovely to see Chelsea have another bad season.
Wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it? Oh, Manchester United. I mean, I don't mind Burnley getting top 4 if Man United want to drop out. Like, that's it. You don't get many YouTube comments with the word guile in, do you? Manny Loy, Chris, do you think we couldn't have the guile and creativity to break down smaller sides as consistent as City did last year? Reassure me, please. Okay. I do. genuinely think that we do have the guile and creativity. Keita's got a lot of guile and a lot of creativity, and you know, I've talked about the packing stats quite a lot over the last few months, but not loads that people may not have seen it. Naby Keita's one of the best players in the world for his packing stats. So packing picks up the number of players in front of you when you pick the ball up. By the time the fella that you pass to has received the ball, they count the players, and basically the fewer between you and the goal, the better they are, and stuff like that. Naby Keita is absolutely superb at that. What that means is you can pick the ball up in midfield and take players out of the game, move the ball past them, get them into someone's head. Matip's good at that type of stuff. If you look at his passing, he plays a lot. Trent Alexander-Arnold, very good at that, you know, from right back, hitting the balls into Firmino's feet and the winger's feet and all that type of stuff, taking players out the game. Keita can do it, Lallana can do it, Milner can do it, Salah's got guile, Mane's got creativity. We're full of it, man, and I think we saw for 20 minutes last night what a difference Salah and Mane make to this side. So if you haven't watched the game, maybe you're in England and it was on at 1 o'clock in the morning, just go and watch the last 20 minutes of the game, or 25 minutes. I think Salah comes on around about 62 maybe. We just looked like Liverpool again for the first time, and it's literally because of the two of them. Andy Tozer, Green Super Chat. Chris, I fucking love you, man. Do you think Hanson Mbop is the best song to bop to? I don't know. I used to like those boppets. Did you ever play with them boppets?
Twist it. Pull it.
Bop it. They were boss.
Yeah, they were brilliant.
They were brilliant, them.
I wonder if they still make them.
They do. I've seen them in the toy shop. Yeah. I'm always in the toy
Brilliant
shop.
Brilliant toy.
With the kids.
Matthew Griffiths has said, Chris, mate, do you think Shaqiri will earn a starting place anywhere? Can he play anywhere in the midfield, or will he just be a squad player for the front three?
Ooh, I've not really thought about him in the midfield. I thought he'd be a rotation player for the front three. Yeah, I still think that. I'll think about it, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure he's going to be a...
I heard that when he first signed, he said, Klopp, I'll play whenever, wherever. Sorry.
Brilliant. And on that bombshell, we're going to end the video. Like the video, subscribe to the Redmen TV on YouTube if you haven't already. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. I'll see you next time. Ta-ra.